This is the Theology assignment with Sam Kretzschmar, Cole Morris, Douglas Moore, and Christian McStravick discussing the hot topic of double effect. I will be using the trolley problem as my reason for the double effect. The trolley problem is a hypothetical situation in which a train is headed down a track where 5 people are tied up upon. You are standing next to a lever, but if you pull this lever, it'll switch the train to a different track, which one person is tied to. The moral question is whether to save 5 people by sacrificing one, or to let 5 die to save one. I will be discussing it from the moral perspective of a Catholic. In a doctrine from Thomas Aquinas, he talks about the concept of double effect. Double effect is the permitted wrongdoing in the greater attempt for good. This is true in the trolley issue because by pulling the lever you are still committing a wrong act, but it is for the greater good, which saving the 5 people by sacrificing the one person. The lever puller may not want to kill the single person by pulling the lever, but they are making a conscious decision to save the lives of the 5. While many may find it wrong to kill anyone in the situation, it is better to kill the single person rather than the 5. This is because the 5 lives are considered to outweigh the single life. The double effect rule lets the person choose the best moral decision that he or she can at the moment. There is no way out of this situation without choosing to pull the lever or not. The Catholic belief is that the overall moral action is not wrong if more good comes from it. However, if the person intends to kill the single person out of will, then the double effect rule is thrown out of the window. It just becomes a wrongdoing. The person must want to do more good than will occur.
Okay, so today I will be talking about the principle of double effect with regard to a virtue ethicist. First, I will talk about both what the principle of double effect is and virtue ethics, and then bring up 2 situations in which a virtue ethicist would have to act and how he would act. So, first of all, the principle of double effect is when someone's actions, which otherwise would not be okay, are actually allowed because of the situation that they're in. The one thing that restricts this is that the act has to be at least morally neutral or good. Virtue ethics, which was introduced by the Greek philosopher Aristotle, is mainly focused on intentions rather than actions. Your actions still do matter. It's not like you can walk around doing whatever you want as long as you intend to do a decent thing. Your actions still do matter, but if you were to do something which is not okay and you had the full intention of doing something that is okay, then according to a virtue ethicist, your act would be alright. So the first situation is when a armed gunman comes into your classroom with a gun pointed at you. You charge the gunman in order to save the rest of your class with the full intention to save the class and not to kill the man. But in the process, you end up killing him. Now, the act of killing the man is not good, but you end up saving 20 people and you had the intention of saving these people and not killing the man. Therefore, according to a virtue ethicist, whether the act is good or not, a virtue ethicist would think that that act is alright. Another situation is when a gunman has a gun pointed at your head saying, if you don't kill the man that is right in front of you, then I will kill both you and your family. Now, killing the man in front of you is not a good act, but you do want to save both yourself and your family, so you end up killing the man. You had the intention of saving your family and yourself and not killing the man, but you still end up killing him. Now, according to a virtue ethicist who believes that intentions matter much more than the action itself, your act would be okay according to that virtue ethicist.
This is Christian McStravick, and I will be doing my project along with Sam Kretzschmar, Douglas Moore, and Cole Morris. And my topic today will be about the divine command theory. And just to start off, this theory not only does it say that the moral truth exists independently of God, but also that the morality is determined by the divine commands. Um, so stronger versions of this theory say that God's command isn't the only reason that a good action is moral, while weaker variations cast divine command as a necessity for a greater reason. This theory kind of says that good actions are morally good as a result of their being commanded by God. And many religious believers listen to some form of divine command theory many times in their life. For example, St. Augustine, he actually proposed an interesting theory about the divine command theory. He said that the divine command theory achieves happiness. And he also says humans must love objects that are worthy of human love in the correct manner. Therefore, this requires humans to love God, which then allows them to correctly love anything else. I really agree with St. Augustine on this point. A lot of the things he says, it just, spot on exactly what I think, and what he says just completely makes sense because if we have the love in order to love God, then we have the love to love anything with the amount of love that God gives us. So this was the divine command theory, and
From a hedonist point of view, to kill one person in order to save 5 more would be the beneficial thing to do. This is because the overall benefit would outweigh the consequences. If one person would die and one person would live, then it would be debatable as to whether it be the right thing to do. However, since the more lives would be saved if the one person died, it is better that the one person died. Some people may argue that no life should be sacrificed for any reason, but if this is so, the 5 others would also be sacrificed, and this too would be a sin, because it is known they would die if the one person didn't. The only thing that matters is the outcome of the actions, and in this case, the result overrides the actions. For something to be beneficial, it has to be good. And for something to be good, it has to bring pleasure to the individual. The result of saving 5 lives is definitely good. This is true even if it means sacrificing one. For the one person who dies, it would obviously not be beneficial or good to sacrifice himself for the 5 others, for it is not in their self-interest. However, from an impartial third-party point of view, it would be good because more good comes from it than bad, and the more good would bring pleasure. From the perspective of the 5 who live, it would definitely be good because it's in their self-interest. It would also bring pleasure to the 5 individuals because they would still be alive. Also, seeing the future consequences can determine whether an action is right or wrong. If the one person is sacrificed but is unsure whether the 5 will be saved, it may not be the right thing to do. However, if we can be positive that the 5 will be saved, then sacrificing one is the right thing to do.